Never did I think that there'd be a year where the Die Hard ripoff is actually far superior to the Die Hard movie. We live in a sad world indeed.
Hello and welcome to my review of Olympus Has Fallen.
Olympus Has Fallen centers on Mike Banning, played by Gerard Butler. He's a former Secret Service agent who was disgraced in a horrific accident that killed the First Lady. He's making his way as a securities officer when, without warning, North Korean terrorists bombard Washington, D.C., seize the White House, and kidnap the president and several of the other main political officials and put them in the secret bunker underground in the White House. Butler goes in there and basically decides to kick ass and redeem himself. Now, I had low expectations going into Olympus Has Fallen. I'd only seen the trailer like once, and when I did, I thought, well, the Roland Emmerich movie that sounds exactly the same called White House Down seems a lot better. And Gerard Butler's kind of had a middling career in the past few years, picking subpar romantic comedies over action roles, and I haven't really been a big fan of the films I've seen by Antoine Fuqua. Granted, I was half asleep when I watched Training Day, but that's beside the point. That being said, this film blew me away. It is a spectacular action film. What's so great about this movie is, while yes, you can say it is a ripoff of Die Hard, you've got the same formula going on. You've got your smart-ass action hero in a building full of terrorists, and you've got your coordinating people communicating with him, played by Morgan Freeman as the acting president. You can say that, but the thing is, I haven't seen a movie pay better tribute to Die Hard than this movie. I honestly think that this is far superior to all of the Die Hard sequels, besides maybe the third one, and really, it's just an incredible action movie in its own right, because what this movie really does well is that despite the fact that the premise of this film is preposterous, stupid, Dumbo the elephant, completely ridiculous, it manages to establish really high stakes. Director Antoine Fuqua is not afraid to kind of go for that extra mile and do those R-rated action scenes. In these scenes, innocent people are getting gunned down. There's bloody headshots. The action is shot maybe a little up close and a little shaky, but at the same time, shot in such a brutal fashion that you feel every single kill. So while the movie is fun, there's also a real intensity to it that puts you on the edge of your seat because you feel like anybody can live and die at any moment. All of the action sequences are elaborate and well put together. In fact, there is like a 20-minute sequence at the beginning of this film that's a siege on the White House. That's just one of the most incredibly directed action sequences I've seen in a long time. Just the scope of it is just unbelievable. The performances in this movie are fantastic. This movie got a surprisingly good cast considering what kind of movie it is. You've got Gerard Butler, who finally proved that he is a worthwhile action star in this film. He's kind of dabbled with it in the past with what I thought a very underrated movie called Law Abiding Citizen, and of course 300, but here he cements it. His character in this movie is very John McClane-esque, but not to the point where he rips him off. Just this witty, smart-ass guy who also, unlike John McClane, is just very competent. Like, he just goes through this whole movie and just annihilates everybody. And his smugness doesn't come from a place of, I don't want to be here. His smugness comes from I'm gonna kick all of your asses and just be fantastic at it. And he really conveys that. All the supporting cast is great. You've got Aaron Eckhart as the president, Morgan Freeman as the acting president, Robert Forster as a general, just all these wonderful character actors who come in and do small roles. And they really do a great job. The only weak link really is Melissa Leo, who after her turn in The Fighter really hasn't given a good performance that I've seen. She's very over the top here, and there's a couple scenes involving her that really kind of hurt this movie overall. Problems with this movie. There is a little bit too much catering to the whole overly patriotic thing, to where there are shots where the North Koreans throw the American flag off the White House and it has the whole slow motion thing of it falling. A couple of them are stylistic choices like that, but a couple others are just kind of masturbatory to the point to where it's just like, America, America, just throwing it in your face. And while some of it's good stuff, sometimes it just feels like a little bit much. Also, there is a lot of CGI used in these action scenes, and it doesn't always look that great. You can tell that this movie was kind of made not on a low budget, but definitely lower than like probably White House Down will be made on, just kind of a I think it was $80 million, and it definitely looks like it. Some of the CG just looks a little shoddy, a little video gamey. Doesn't take you out of the movie too much, but it's not one of those movies where it's just seamless CGI. You'll definitely notice what was done on computers in this film. The good news is that there's a lot of practical effects in this to balance it out. Overall, Olympus Has Fallen ain't Shakespeare, but quite frankly, I don't give a damn. It's a wonderful action movie. It does everything that the genre should do and does it wonderfully. This is, without a doubt, Gerard Butler's best leading role. I think that he's really cemented himself as a great action star with this film, and I can't wait to see more from him and Antoine Fuqua. I without doubt give this a 3 stars out of 4. I want to give it 3.5, but at the same time I know that it's not a great movie, so I can't really do that, but a fun movie? Hell yes. And that was my review of Olympus Has Fallen. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. You can request a review, leave a comment, do all that good stuff. And until next time, I'm Michael Fairbanks. See you later.
Just open the gates of hell.